Hello guys, welcome to my channel Learn Tech. This is Sandeep Cole here. I hope you all doing good. So today's video which we are going to take is again from BMC Smart Reporting. So in this video what we are going to see is some more advanced features of smart reporting. So last time if you have watched all my other videos on smart reporting, so you might have seen that I have taken a video on the entire creation of a report, dashboards and some basic features from smart reporting. Now, in today's video, I'm going to teach you is something which is part of a smart reporting, but which is considered as an advanced feature of smart reporting. So let's get started and let's see how what exactly we're going to see today. So let me first of all click here on the create, and I'll go and click on to create a new report. Now, so what I will do here, I will select this incident management view. Now, what I will today teach you is how we can create this custom field here. Okay, I have already taken, it's also part of my other video, but today we will have a detailed discussion on this custom field, how we can define this and how we can use it in the our reports. For example, this is my help desk incident report. So if I normally I have to add details, I can add these details here. For example, I'll add this incident ID, I'll add summary, I'll add customer name, or and then other things, whatever you need as part of your assignment group. Then impact and basically let me add priority. Then I have also status of the incident. Okay, now sometimes what I need, basically I need to add certain fields which are not here available out of box from my table. So then what I do, I use this calculated option here. Then for that, what you do, basically you click here on create a calculated field. So with this, you can create a custom field which will be used in your report. And normally, it's something like when you have to do certain calculations on a field, then you can use this field. So first thing what you need to give is the name of the field. Then the second thing is these options. So you have an option called predefined. You click on predefined. So then you will get these functions. So for example, let's say you have certain date, you need to put them in different functions. For example, I have this function called date difference. I have date difference in days, date difference in seconds, then date ARDBC, date add or ARDBC. So these are different functions which I can use in my reporting. So for example, I have also string functions, convert string to a number. So it basically will convert any particular string to a number, provided there is a number in it. Okay. Then I have date function, I have month, short name, month name. So we will see some of these features and see what basically they will do. Let's say I have to define, let's say I have to say date in days. Okay, I need to display the date in days. Then I can use this function which is called date in days. Sorry, let's not okay, we can do that, but let me give you a more realistic example. For example, I need to create difference between the submit date and or maybe resolve date and submit date, and let's create a difference in days basically. So then for that, what I need to do, I would call this as day difference. You can give it any name, it's up to you. Difference in days. Then in this function, what I need to do, but for that I have to, before this I'll go here, I need to go back. I need to add these fields. So what I will do from my function, sorry, from my relationship, I'll open, see what I have. I have submit date and reported date. Okay, let's take a difference between these. Ideally, they will be same, but we will add both of them. Then let's see whatever we can. We can add submit date. We will add a reported date, and also we will say there will be one called last resolve date. Okay, this is the um, date on which the ticket is resolved. But before we go to do any function, let's refresh the report and see what exactly we have. So I have a submit date, I have a reported date. So there is no difference between, because we can keep a difference in ideal scenarios. You have a difference between these two dates, but here I don't have any difference. But there is a difference between a resolve date and submit date. So what I will do, I will create here a custom field. So I would say closure time. I'll explain you what exactly is this closure. So I'll say change. Okay, now what we will do, we will say how many days it took for a particular ticket to close. Let's say I need to add this in a report. So here what I will do, I will say predefined, then I will go date difference function. So now it will ask you what type of, which is the start date and which is the end date. Start date is our, let me select the field, which is my submit date. So, and then this is my start date. Say okay, and then I will say, I would say last result date. Yeah, this one. Now you have option here also. You can directly, you can create a hard code this date, or you can say current date plus something like this. Like you can also do a calculation here. So that also is possible here. But what why our purpose is, we just have to create a different. So now I'll say last result days and the start date is submitted. Then you have this resulting field type where how you want to create it. It will, because if I want to create a number of days, so it definitely will be a matrix, right? So I'll not touch this anything. I'll say save. Now, so if I go here in calculated fields, I have this time to closure days. So now let me go and add this to the report. It's quite simple. I just have to add it to the, so what I'll do, I just bring it here. Or let me take it near the timing. Let me remove as of this. So what I'll do, I'll move it here. Okay. So what I will do now, I have last result date, I have reported date and submit date, and after that I have, in the end, I have added the time in time to closure dates. Okay. Now what it will do, it will give me a difference between submit date and last result date. So you can see here, this was submitted on, I think, 2nd of November. It was resolved on 6th of November. Then the difference is 4. So it took 4 days for this to resolve. Now it will only give you this scenario where you have the result date. For others where it is blank, so it will not give you. Okay, it will not give you anything. So it will not give you basically any calculation. It will keep it blank. So this is how basically you define a custom field. Now you have multiple options here. You can define any option here. You can edit this calculation, and then also you can create your own qualifications. So that is the a feature which is available to us. I can define any custom calculations here, and I also can define the whatever I need as per the report. I can define it. If that field is not available, that calculation is not available, but still I will be able to do it through the calculation. Now similarly, you have options here. If you see here, if you go here, if I say predefined, then this basically gives you a set of functions. You don't have any, you know, you can define your own set of functions here. You can add some strings, you can replace some strings, you can trim the string, or you can get a substring of that particular, feed. For example, substring, if let's say I need to display only a part of my description or a summary, I can use this substring function. So similarly, you can use other functions now. But there's one more thing. This is the predefined part. You have predefined set of functions where you have certain calculations functions available which you can use. Now, if you go to simple part, so here there's an option where you can define a programming. In a normal programming language, what we do, we define conditions. So same conditions we can define. So for example, now let me showcase you one of them. For example, I would say I have to say use this case. If in a normal programming language we also have a switch statement, we have a case statement. It depends on the type of the programming you have, but here also you have that. Okay, so I can say case when. Okay, now I have to define. So when, so case means do this if this, or else do this. So I say when status. Let me use the field status. Oh, I think I removed the status. So let me do one thing. Instead of, I would say last result date, then your select operator is not null. Okay, if last result date is not null, then what I will do, I would say I would get, so I can basically define the some count or some functions I can define here. For example, this is a count, this is a distinct count, this is a percentage. You can define minimum and max, and here also you can say. So I would say, we say count. I would say, then I would use incident ID. Okay, then again I will close this braces. I would save it. Okay, now when last result date is not null, then count of incident ID should be 1. Okay, I can also define an else. So else, I would say incident, or I would say else it is 0. Okay, now you can see here it has defined a condition for me. Case when last result date is not null, then count of incident ID. Then I will get a count. Else, I, else it will end it. So I think I have to add that 0 if I want to add it. Okay, sorry, I forgot. So else it will give me a 0. Otherwise, it will give me the actual count. So now you can validate this. Okay, so it is valid. In case there are any issues with your SQL, it will basically, then it will, guide you. It will give you, error in that sense. It will give you an error here, and then you can fix it. Okay, so now let me save this. Okay, sorry, I didn't give the calculated field name. So let me give it any name. I would say resolve count. Okay, and I will save this. Okay, now I have this field added in my table, so I will just move it here. I'll move it to the last result date. Okay, and now let me again refresh the report. Now you can see here we gave a condition that if last result date is not equal to null, so which is here, then it should uh, give me a count of 1. So it gave me a count of 1. If it is blank, it should give me a 0. So now similarly you can perform operations on it. Different, it's like just an example, but when in an actual scenario you can define a lot of operational reports need a lot of calculations. That is something you can define here. So you have an if else condition as well. So if this is, if let's say priority is critical, then uh, show me my, give me some calculation. Then if priority is low, then you have to do this. Similarly for status, if status is assigned, then give me this. If status is closed, or it is resolved, or something, or maybe any other field. If date is less than this, then I should give it. So this is the section where you basically define it. So now we saw it is predefined, we saw simple where you can define the calculation part here, and then there is one more part called free SQL. So here you can directly define an SQL. So you can directly write a freehand SQL here. So for example, normally when we use a database, so we define a, we can write an SQL to get the data. So you can also define for this you should know the database queries, like from where you have to select. So there are some instructions also given in SQL select fragment, not including the select keyword or any from or where clause, column, reference to exit in the way. So these are the basically conditions. So which you have to see. So you cannot use aggregate functions here. So column references, if you give, it should be, you know, it should be visible there in the view. So if you say select, yeah, let me see if this works. In say, so you should know in the field name also. You should know the actual field name uh, from HPD underscore help desk. Let me see if this works. So the main purpose of this is that you should know the actual database name. Okay, so there's some error. Me. So guys, we were just verifying this query, but we could not check it. But you can refer BMC documentation and get the exact query. It's a DB query. You have to use it. You need to use the exact field names, table names, and then definitely it'll work. Make sure that you are following these instructions given here, and then it will definitely give a result. The most important thing you need to keep in mind is that you need to use a single column, because the result which will come back, we have to use it in a report. So you cannot use a multi column query where you have it's basically fetching multiple column, not work. So you can refer the documentation in case you need any help. Definitely let me know. I'll help you. So this is it from my custom field video for smart reporting. I think if you have we have covered a lot of things here in today's video. I'll be posting more videos on smart reporting, so stay tuned on that. Apart from this, I also run a membership program. You can check my membership program. I'm in that particular program. I have a lot of videos which are very quite advanced and remedy, which covers integration, CMDB, and other latest topics. So you can check that as well. So there are basically there is one more membership program which I'm which is there in my channel, that is for learning remedy from the scratch. So if you want, I have a program where I have videos from day 1 to day 12. So it will cover all the topics of remedy, starting from the basic ones to the advanced ones, and you can learn entire remedy in that particular program. So you can check that in my membership program. You'll get to know both membership programs. You can verify. And so please subscribe to my channel, press the bell icon so that you'll get notification. I'll be posting both free videos as well as back videos for my members, going forward in multiple topics. So I'll be posting videos on that. I hope it's good for you. It's thanks from my side. uh, See you next time.